Thanks to a bit of sickness, today my voice is a lot lower, it's more gruff, much like the actor Vin Diesel. And that is appropriate because today I am riding a scooter which his character Dominic Toretto from the Fast and Furious franchise would really like, because just like that character, this scooter is all about family. Presenting to you the Ather Rizta. You might have already seen our walk around of the Rizta or maybe some other publications walk around video to know about the basic details, how it looks, what features it gets. But for a quick crash course, this is a family oriented scooter which is supposed to offer a lot of comfort and space compared to the Ather 450S and X scooters, which are a bit more performance oriented. And boy oh boy does it have space and comfort. Let's start with the seat right here, because this Ather claims is the longest seat in the segment. And boy is it long, because I'll give you a small demonstration. I am 6 feet tall. Now once I stand the scooter up and I sit, there is enough room for a pillion plus a bag. So whether you are wearing a bag or maybe the pillion has a bag, you can easily accommodate all 3 units and have a comfortable ride on this scooter. And the reason why I say comfortable is because the suspension tuning is so good. It's so different from the 450X, which is a lot more sharp, which is a lot more stiff. This one, the tuning is so brilliantly done that I went through a lot of bad roads and even came to this place, and the scooter soaked all of the bumps. It is such a comfortable ride that the moment you get on the scooter, that is the first thing that you will notice. It absorbs all kinds of undulations on the road, and even if you accidentally go over a pothole at a higher speed, maybe you did not see it coming, the scooter is not unsettled, because again the suspension absorbs all the impact. And despite this, when you want to flick it left and right, the scooter responds quite decently. Yes, it is heavier than the 450S and 450X, but still, unless and until you are moving it at parking speeds manually, you will not feel that weight. It feels very much under your control, so that is good. Another thing that is comfortable is how the motor has been tuned. It gets a slightly less powerful 4.3 kilowatt motor, but the torque is the same as the 450S at 22 Newton meters. The 450X makes a little bit more, so that is a small difference. And you get 2 riding modes, Smart Eco and Zip. No matter which mode you are in, the acceleration is brisk without being jerky, without being too savage, and you can smoothly get off the line. But if you want to make those overtakes, you can put it in Zip mode and then it goes pretty nicely. Talking about the modes, the top speed is limited in the Smart Eco depending on the terrain that you are in and the weight that you have. It's generally around 50 kmph, but the moment you put it in Zip mode, then you can access the entire 80 kmph range which the company claims. The acceleration response is slightly different, and I was surprised at how peppy it is even in the Smart Eco mode. So if you want to save range, you can put it in Smart Eco and get a decent amount of response and a pretty good range. And talking more about the range, due to the gentle nature of the motor and the ability to have coasting region as well as magic twist, the claimed IDC range of the Rizta with the 2.9 kilowatt hour battery pack is 123 kilometers, while with the bigger 3.7 kilowatt hour battery pack, you can get 159 kilometers. These are the claimed numbers. Out in the real world, the figures are actually less. You can, if you are going in Zip mode, you will get less than 100 kilometers, because even with the regen, you do end up using a lot more power. So that is something which is pretty similar to the 450S and 450X, but comparatively this is just a tad bit better. In terms of charging, the base model and the Z with the smaller battery pack gets a 350 kilowatt charger, which takes about 8.5 hours to charge the scooter from 0 to 100%. And if you opt for the 3.7 kilowatt hour model of the Rizta, then you get a faster 700 watt charger, which does the same in 6 hours and 10 minutes. So charging wise, it is pretty sorted, pretty much regular. The range is also usable for city, but combined with the capped top speed of 80 kmph and the range of about 100-ish kilometers. I think this is pretty much a city scooter. I would not really recommend it for longer runs. If your office is too far away, maybe, then you can do it. You'll just have to be a little more smart about your charging and about the routes that you pick. Now, I mentioned Magic Twist, but I did not explain it. While we saw this feature in the 450 Apex, it now makes its entry to the Rizta as well. And this is what I was hoping, that this really intuitive regen technology makes its way to the more affordable scooters in the lineup. So basically with Magic Twist, you can use regen braking even when your scooter is at 100% charge. And what the Magic Twist is that normally the accelerator, you pull it back to accelerate. Well, if you push it in the other direction, then you activate the Magic Twist, and the more you push forward, the more the response from the regen system is. And this is a very gradual thing. It's not like modes which are hard set at level 1, 2 or 3. This is very gradual, and Ather calls it pretty much like the volume knob on stereo systems. So this is very much akin to that. And once you ride the scooter for about 5 to 10 minutes, you easily get used to the Magic Twist, and then it just becomes a habit. And in our ride since morning, I have rarely touched the brake. I only touched them when I had to stop immediately. Otherwise, if you're riding normally, you can make your calculated moves and use the regen braking to not have to worry about the brake lever. So that is quite a good feature. Now this is a family scooter, so obviously there are some safety features. Some of them are old, like fall safe, which cuts off the accelerator inputs once the scooter falls. You have the anti-theft alarms as well. But a new addition is SkidControl, which is essentially a traction control system. So if you switch on the SkidControl, if you accelerate too hard when the surface has loose gravel or sand, then the rear wheel does not spin that much that you lose traction and maybe risk falling off. And I've tested the feature with it on and off, and it does make a difference and is a welcome feature in the Ather Rizta. And it is not just the seat which is spacious, you also get 34 liters of underseat storage, which is about 12 liters more than the 450X or S. And what Ather has also done is that they've provided a smart compartment over here. So a lot of us keep a cleaning cloth and you don't want it to mix with the rest of your belongings. So you can easily stack a cleaning cloth over there. You can put any small item here. We right now have this phone, so it fits a lot of things. The cavity itself, now this, I have a full-size helmet, and this fits into this area very easily. We also have the accessory bag, which makes it easy to put stuff in, and then if you do not want to carry all those things individually, you can just take the bag out and then go to your home, empty it, and then put it back in. So that is also a very intuitive and smart thought. Now once you close the seat, you will notice that even the floorboard up ahead has a lot of room. So not only is that good for taller riders, that they have more room to keep their legs, it also means that you can keep some bags or even a small basket over here without any worries of running out of space. You can also get another accessory, which is basically a frunk, as Ather calls it, which adds another 22 liters of storage space. So basically with all these accessories, if you put them on and you go shopping, then you can perhaps buy groceries for the entire colony. I also like the fact that behind the seat you have this cavity where you can hook in your fingers and then easily open it. However, we are riding the Z model of the Rizta, which comes with this handy backrest, which is pretty wide, very comfortable for the pillion, but it has been designed in such a way that it does get in your way when you are opening the seat. So you can see my fingers are hitting the backrest, and I'm surprised that Ather thought about so many intuitive things, but this basic thing they missed. So really hope that they improve it in maybe the future iterations, or maybe have a different backrest which does not get in the way. This is the 7-inch instrument cluster that you get with the Ather Rizta, and compared to the 450S and X, the UI is a little bit different. It's a little more light, it's a little more pleasing to the eye, and you control the various functions through this four-way stick over here, and you can click it in to select things as well. So if I go to the right, you will see that it supports navigation because it has smartphone connectivity. So you can use Google Maps to navigate to places. So if I select this place over here, then it will show me where the location is, and I can basically start the navigation now. But you will notice that as I am navigating through the menu, that the system is actually a little bit slow, and that does become a little bit annoying. It does take a little while for it to load up, and I noticed this even while changing the ride modes through the toggle here, that sometimes you change the ride mode and the ride mode does change, you do feel it in your riding, but the indicator takes a little while to move from Smart Eco to Zip or Zip to Smart Eco. So that is one thing which Ather needs to work on, because right now, even though there are a lot of features, like you can even check your WhatsApp messages, you can control your calls, you can even reject and accept calls and change music. So all of that you can do with this scooter right here from the instrument cluster. But it's just that the UI, well, it's a little bit laggy, it's a little bit buggy. Now, I will admit that while I do not absolutely hate the design of the Rizta, I'm not too floored either. I'm conflicted about how I exactly feel. Maybe my brain is still trying to comprehend that Ather, which usually makes these sleek and sharp looking scooters, has made a very bulky and boxy looking scooter. Especially if you look at the front section or even at the tail, it is very much a boxy SUV-ish kind of design. But what I can say for sure is that there are certain bits where the quality levels aren't as great, or something that we expect of the brand. If you look at the screen over here, you can hear it's creaking. And even the side stand, which has done a good job of holding on to the weight of the scooter, but when you pull it out, it just doesn't feel as if it's as solidly built as the rest of the scooter. The switches are pretty decent. I had no trouble working with them. Even the levers are of good quality. So all around, it is a well-made scooter. The design, like I said, I'm a little bit conflicted on. You tell me if you like how this Rizta looks. But yeah, these bits definitely need a little bit of improvement in terms of the finishing. I was initially confused why the Rizta exists, because Ather already had the 450S. But having ridden it, I can say that it has its own identity, and I think people will buy it for one of two reasons. The first one is obvious. It has a lot of space, it has a lot of comfort. It is the most comfortable Ather I've ridden till date, and that way it achieves its purpose of being a family scooter. The other reason why you would perhaps buy it is that if you want to go for the base variant, which does not come with a lot of fancy features that the Pro Pack offers, like the magic twist, like the auto hold, or even the smart eco mode. You just want an electric scooter which is under a certain budget, in this case it being 1.37 lakh rupees, and it is spacious, it is comfortable, then the Rizta is going to be a great fit for you. In fact, it is the most affordable Ather scooter in town right now, which is quite attractive in itself. How well the public will take on the Rizta and how will the sales be? Will it beat the 450X and 450S? Well, that's a tale for another time. Right now, this is all from my side, Aakash Paul. Thank you for bearing with my terrible voice. I hope in the next video it will be much better. So please do hit like, pray for my voice to get better quite soon, and comment down if you have any other questions related to the scooter. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Make sure you have hit the subscribe button and the bell icon as well. I will see you again in the next video. Bye bye.